नमस्कार। श्री रामकृष्ण कथामृत तव कथामृतं तप्त जीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमंगलं श्रीमदादतं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः। श्री रामकृष्ण कथामृतो प्रथम भाग सप्तम खंडो और चतुर्थ परिच्छेद. We are reading the fourth chapter of the seventh section of the first volume of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna in Bengali. Sri Ramakrishna had told in our previous reading. Now this is several devotees have come. Vishwanath Upadhyay and Naren had sung that beautiful song, and after that he had gone out to have some talk with Hazra. And then Sri Ramakrishna, after he had entered into samadhi at listening to the beautiful singing of Naren, and when after coming down from that divine plane of samadhi, when he came to the normal consciousness, he saw Naren is not there, but then he said, doesn't matter. He has lit the fire. Now whether the person who has lit the fire of illumination is there or not doesn't matter. Let him spend time with Hazra. We are here. Let us enjoy the spiritual talk. Let us enjoy the talk of the divine. And then Sri Ramakrishna, with the devotees sitting in front of him, Captain Vishwanath Upadhyay, the emissary of the King of Nepal to the East India Company, and Sri M and other devotees sitting. And then Sri Ramakrishna had told about the reality of Chidananda, that this illumination, spiritual illumination, that bliss, Satchidananda is, yes, it is there. If you see all these kind of different forms, creation in the Prakriti, that doesn't mean Chidananda is not there. Chidananda ache, kebol Abaron Bikshep, and he had talked about all the just the names and forms taken by these entities in the creation. And then Sri Ramakrishna had told that the difference between the Jnani and the Bhakta. Jnani is one-pointed. Brahma Satya Jagat Mitha, that is his way of reasoning. But for the Bhakta, for the devotee, everything is his mother's Leela, his Prabhu's Leela. For him, everything exists because everything that exists in the creation is the manifestation of that Brahman, of that Lord, of that divine mother. And that's why, looking at all these things, the devotee enjoys displaying his emotions. Bhakter bhitor ekta na noye, jor bhata hoye. He has different emotions to display. Hashe, kande, nache, gaye. The devotee, he smiles, laughs, he cries when the devotee finds that he or she is away from the chosen ideal, from the Ishta. They start crying. Or sometimes they even shed tears of joy at the contemplation of their Ishta Devata. Sometimes they dance, singing the glories of the Lord, singing the glories of the Divine Mother. The Bhakta, the devotee, plays in all these different ways, not like the Jnani. Jnani has got only one way of meditating, thinking, contemplating. That's it. A Jnani can never sing the glories of the Lord. A Jnani can never dance singing the glories of the Lord, cannot cry, weep, cannot smile, cannot laugh. Now, likewise, Sri Ramakrishna had given that example of a bhakta being like a cube of ice. You put it in water, it goes down and again it comes up. It has got various ways of expressing the devotion. It will go down at the bottom of that ocean and it will also come up on the surface of the water. That is devotee. And then Sri Ramakrishna says, now he is going to teach us that although we may perceive the ultimate end result of the jnani and bhakta to be different, but they are not. The end point where the jnani reaches, the end point where the bhakta reaches, they are one and the same thing. They may appear to be different. Now, Sri Ramakrishna is teaching us Satchidanando o Satchidanandamoyi, Brahmo Adya Shakti o Bhed. The Brahman and its primordial power, they are not separate, they are inseparable, one and the same thing. Sri Ramakrishna is now talking to the devotees. Gyani Brahmo ke jante chai. The person on the path of knowledge, what is his desire, what is his ambition, what is his goal? He wants to know the ultimate Brahman, the ultimate reality, who is the ultimate truth. The jnani progresses on that path of knowledge. He keeps on saying Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya. He keeps on saying Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmosmi. He keeps on saying Tattvamasi. There is only one reality and thou art that. That is the path of knowledge. So Sri Ramakrishna says, Gani Brahmo ke jante chai. But on the contrary, what does Bhakta desire? Bhakter Bhagavan Shodeshparjo Purno Sarva Shaktiman Bhagavan. But the devotee seeks its Ishta Devata. A devotee seeks its God, the Lord, the Divine Mother. Shadeshwarjo Purno. The God filled with the six glorious powers. Shadeshwarjo. The God who is filled with the six, possessed with six kinds of spiritual wealth, the spiritual glories. That is what a devotee seeks. But for jnani, for a person walking on the path of knowledge, he only seeks one reality. That's it. He doesn't want any pomp and other glories and other things. No, the ultimate end point of jnani does not have any wealth, any six different types of spiritual wealth. No, he doesn't have. But the bhakta goes for that. For bhakta, his mother is so beautiful, his mother is so charming, his mother is so powerful. His mother, she's the creator, preserver, the destroyer. That is the attitude of the bhakta. Shadeshwarjo Purno Sarva Shaktiman Bhagwan. That is what bhakta ultimately wants. That is what devotee ultimately seeks. Bostutaha Brahmo আর শক্তি ও ভেদ যিনি সচ্চিদানন্দ তিনি সচ্চিদানন্দময়ী যেমন মণির জ্যোতি ও মণি. Now Sri Ramakrishna tells that in reality, in truth, this Brahman indivisible without any qualities of sattva, raja, tama, although is considered as Nirguna Nirakar Brahman, no form, no name, no qualities, but in reality, Brahma or Shakti Obhed. The Brahma and the primordial power, they are inseparable. They are not two different entities. Jini Sochidananda, Tini Sochidanandamoyi. The one who is existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute. The same is Satchidanandamoyi, possessing these Satchidananda qualities, possessing these qualities of Sat Chit Ananda. Satchidananda is in its own glory, but one who possesses the Shakti, the primordial power, the eternal energy, eternal power, also is the carrier of this Satchidananda. She is the Satchidanandamoyi. And Jemon Monir Jyoti O Mani. And here Sri Ramakrishna gives the example. Like the jewel and its luster. The jewel, automatically when jewel is there, the luster, its luster has to be there. You cannot separate the jewel from the luster. Monir O Moni, Jemon Monir Jyoti O Moni. Monir Jyoti bolle Moni bujhaye. The moment you utter the word jewel, automatically its quality of luster, that brightness, automatically it is perceived the moment we utter the word jewel. Monir Jyoti bolle Moni bujhaye. And the moment you talk about the luster, the quality of luster of the jewel, automatically the luster, one can understand what a jewel is. Oh, that sparkling, that bright, that lusterful beauty, that is jewel. And the moment you talk about the qualities, the luster, the brightness, that shining, we automatically come to think about the jewel itself. মনির জ্যোতি বললেই মনি বুঝায় মনি বললেই জ্যোতি বুঝায়. You talk of any one thing and you perceive the another. You know that another is there. Whether it is just jewel you talk about, luster automatically comes to your mind. Whether you talk only, you say only luster, automatically the picture of that jewel comes to your mind. Oh, that beautiful thing with the luster, with the brightness, with that all that shining luster. মনি না ভাবলে মনির জ্যোতি ভাবতে পারে যায় না. If you don't think of mother, you won't be able to understand, you won't be able to perceive its luster. মনির জ্যোতি না ভাবলে মনি ভাবতে পারা যায় না. And without knowing the luster of the jewel, you cannot know what the jewel is. So, for knowing one thing, automatically you get to know the other thing, whether jewel or its luster. No, get to know only any one thing. Whether you get knowledge or gain devotion, ultimately you get to know the same thing. One may think that, oh, it is the Satchidananda Brahman. Following the path of knowledge, we reach the Satchidananda. We understand what is the ultimate reality. And a devotee may feel, following the path of devotion, I am reaching that divine mother who is so powerful, who is endowed with so many glories and the wealth. But in reality, having got to know that thing, one realizes we are talking about the same thing. We are talking about the jewel and its luster. They are not separable. In the same way, the Brahman and the Shakti, they are not separable. The Satchidananda and the Satchidanandamoyi, the manifestation of these qualities, Satchit Ananda, they are the same thing. They may appear different, but no, we cannot separate these two entities. And then Sri Ramakrishna says, Eko Satchidanando Shakti Bhede Upadi Bhed. In reality, it is only one. The Satchidananda, the existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute, is the only reality. But the different adjuncts, we call it by different names only because of differing manifestation of power. Shakti bhede upadi bhed. The power is manifested in a different way. The same power is manifested in a different way. So I give them different names. I may call that same Brahman as Rama, Krishna, Durga, Kali, Mahashakti. I may call her as Shama, Tara. I may give so many other names. It is only the difference of the quality. So, the manifestation of power, and we perceive all these things to be totally different from one another. Sri Ramakrishna says, Ek Swachchidananda. There is no difference. Shakti Bhede, Upadi Bhed. Tai Nana Roop. And then Sri Ramakrishna says, that's why we see so many different forms. And then Sri Ramakrishna quotes from a song. Shet Tumi Go Tara, O Divine Mother. O primordial Mother Tara, you and he, the Brahman, you are the same. You are the same Brahman, O Tara, O Divine Mother, O primordial energy, you are the same thing. যেখানে কার্য সেখানেই Shakti. Now where this Shakti appears, Sri Ramakrishna says, whenever there is action, wherever there is action, what is action basically? Action of Srushti Sthiti Praloye, the creation, preservation and destruction. Wherever this action is there Shakti manifests. You see, anything in this creation is comprised of these three actions. Any action we do for that matter comprises of these three steps. The first step is creation, second step is preservation, and the third stage is destruction or dissolution. Srushti Sthiti Praloy. Jekhane Karjo, Jekhane Shakti. The moment this element of creation, preservation, destruction comes, the primordial power manifests herself. Now, for that matter, any activity we do, all the activities in this creation that we do, they have these three steps of creation, preservation, destruction. You think of anything that we do. Like I'm talking here, creating this video and talking about Sri Ramakrishna Kathamrita. This is the action. Now, the creation of this, the talk in the form of video is creation. It will be preserved in the system in some form, that is preservation. And at one point of time, even that will be destroyed. It will just if my system gets crashed, it gets deleted. No trace of that video over there then. So anything that we do has these three steps of Srushti Sthiti Pralaya, and wherever these three come into effect, Shakti is there, that primordial energy. It is only because of that Shakti it is happening. কিন্তু জল স্থির থাকলেও জল স্থির থাকলেও জল, তরঙ্গ বুড়বুড়ি হলেও জল. Now Sri Ramakrishna is giving that beautiful example of the water. If the water stands still on the surface of a river or an ocean, we call it water. But if the same water, if the same river is in the boisterous motion, we see so many bubbles coming up. The river is absolutely in dancing, moving towards the ocean. Even that is also water. That we don't call it separate. That, oh no, that is not water. Only the water which is standing still on the surface of the ocean is water. But the water which is boisterous, which is jumping, which is bubbling in the form of river is not water. Do we say that? No. Still is also water. This frothing, this bubbling, this jumping is also water. Sri Ramakrishna has given this beautiful example. That's how the Brahman, when it is Nirakar, Nirguna, is Brahman. The same Brahman is manifested in the form of that Adya Shakti. It is only the upadhi that we give. We are not changing. It is just the manifestation. So what? There is creation, preservation, and destruction in the form of that bubbling water. That also is the same. Only we term it as a Shakti. Basically, there is no difference. The water remains water whether it is still or bubbling and jumping. সেই সচ্চিদানন্দই আদ্য শক্তি যিনি সৃষ্টি স্থিতি প্রলয় করেন. The same Satchidananda is that primordial power which is so busy in this action of creation, preservation, destruction. Now Sri Ramakrishna gives a most practical example. Sri Ramakrishna says, Jemon, captain. He gives example of the life Captain Vishwanath Upadhyay sitting there. Look at this captain. যখন কোন কাজ করেন না তখনও যিনি, আর কাপ্তেন পূজা করছেন তখনও তিনি, আর কাপ্তেন লাট সাহেবের কাছে যাচ্ছেন তখনও তিনি, কেবল উপাধি বিশেষ. Take the example of this fellow, this Captain Vishwanath Upadhyay who is sitting in front of me. When this Captain Vishwanath Upadhyay is not working, he is not busy in doing any work, even then he is the same person. Then when this captain, now the captain, the designation that is given to him is for certain role, isn't it? But when he is performing puja, he is worshipping the god in that shrine, in the shrine at his home, even then he remains. Nobody can deny that he is not captain then. So what if the captain as a title is given to him, is endowed on him for certain role, but even when he is not acting, even when he is not working, he is still captain. Even when he is worshipping in his shrine, still he is a captain. And when he goes and meets Lord Sahib, the Governor General, when he goes and meets the Lord Sahib, even then he is the same person, isn't it? Kebol Upadhi Bishesh. It is all a matter of just the name and title. Person remains the same. That captain remains same. If he is performing different roles, that doesn't mean that the person has changed. That person remains the same entity. Likewise, so what if the Adya Shakti is busy in creating, preserving and destroying and dissolving the things? So what? Still Brahman. Only thing is, okay, now it is manifested as Adya Shakti. That is the Upadhi we create. The Brahman doesn't create that Upadhi. Brahman is the same whether it is inactive Brahman or the action-filled primordial power who is so much busy creating, preserving, destroying, as if she has nothing else to do. Busy, 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 active, active, active. But Brahman, he is like that Lord Shiva lying at the feet of Ma Kali, Ma Bhavatarini, inert, no activity at all, corpse-like. But the moment that corpse-like stage is manifested as Kali, as Adya Shakti, it is full of action. So basically these are the same things, whether Brahman or Adya Shakti, whether Satchidananda or Satchidanandamoyi, they are one and the same thing. That's what Sri Ramakrishna tells all the devotees. And since that he has given this, finally he has given the example of captain himself, that whether that captain is inactive, is not doing any work, whether that captain is worshipping, sitting in his shrine, or whether that captain is on a business purpose, meeting a Lord Sahib, meeting the Governor General, captain remains the same. And for that, captain answers Agya ha, Mahashay. Yes, you are very true, revered sir. The ultimate reality is only one. So that was Sri Ramakrishna's teaching today in this fourth chapter of the seventh section of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna in Bengali that we read. Brahma and Shakti are obeyed. Jini Suchidanando, Tini Suchidanando. Om Namah Shri Bhagavate Ramakrishnaaya. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.